Hello, friends, or welcome to a brand new episode of Lose Weight with Macros, the basics with me, your host, Verona. If you are new here, welcome to the show. Pull up a virtual chair or a physical chair, pad and pen, and grab yourself a cup of tea, a cup of joe, chocolate with marshmallows, whatever you like, because this is the place where I give you the real talk when it comes to fat loss, when it comes to macros. For the busy, successful woman who has got more than 5 pounds of fat to lose, and she's in line, ready to take action to get these goals, and you want my help as your wing woman to get there with you, then you are in the right place, my friends. Today we're talking about the battle of weight loss and busyness. If you're a busy professional woman, you probably noticed that weight loss is much harder or much more difficult than it used to be. Why is this? That's exactly what we're talking about in today's episode. Hey friend, welcome to Lose Weight with Macros, the basics podcast show with me, your host Verona. If you're somebody who's overwhelmed by all of the conflicting information out there, you're confused about how much protein you should be eating, how to count macros, you don't have time to figure out your macros, and you're sick and tired of repeating the same old boring meals because it is exhausting, you are in the right place. This Lose Weight with Macros Basics podcast is specifically for you. You're the woman who wants to learn how to track your macros and do it sustainably, do it in a way that you can enjoy your foods and you don't have to cut out your favorite foods, and we're not here for that. So my friends, if this is you, grab your tea, grab your coffee, grab your water, grab your matcha, your notepad and pen, because today's episode is going to be a juicy one. So buckle up, friends, let's get it. So friends, you'll hear, if you listen to my last episode, you will know that many of us have hectic lifestyles. You might even be the woman that is like, you know what, where am I going to find the time? On my drive to work or in the morning after the kids have gone to school and I'm just getting ready for my day, I like to listen to podcasts in the background. Now, wherever you are at in your life, we all have demanding jobs or responsibilities to our friends, to our families, to everybody else but ourselves. I used to be there. I used to be people pleaser deluxe. That's what I used to do. People pleaser deluxe. VIP. I had a VIP suite in people pleaserville. That's where I lived. I lived in people pleaserville for years, for decades, and there aren't many decades in my life. I'm almost 40, but it still felt like over 20 years of my life I was in people pleaserville. That's where I lived. And some of you might be setting up tent that you don't want to, you don't even realize you're setting up tent in that place, but you might also be a people pleaser. And a people pleaser is doing everything for everybody else. You're burning yourself out, you're burning the candle at both ends, as they say, in the name of pleasing everybody else, so that everybody likes you, everybody thinks that you are the bee's knees, the best boss, the best client, the best whatever position you're in. But there is something that is sacrificing, and that is you, your body, your health, and your time. Now, when we're constantly on the move, whether it's work, the gym, the grocery store, the shop, the drive-through, McDonald's, your favorite restaurant, wherever it is, a networking event for work or our businesses, our days are packed with things to do and places to be and people to see, that we rarely actually find time to have a moment or two for ourselves. And if we do find that time, it's like 12 o'clock when everybody else is asleep. This is your time. And you're like, now I can sit down and have time for myself. And then you're getting up again at 4 o'clock in the morning and you feel like that's productive because you're getting so much done in the hours of 4 to 6 when the kids are waking up. Now, if you're somebody who lives this lifestyle, how is that working out for you? In terms of nutrition, forget money, forget stats, forget any of those things. Those are great things. But when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to your health, when was the last time you had a health MOT? Your car goes in every single year. It checks the health of the car. Fantastic. When was the last time you had one? Now you might be like, well, I had one last week actually. Fantastic. Amazing. What did it say? Now, if it came back with all your markers were fantastic, incredible. If it didn't, how are you going to change what it said? Did it say that you've got elevated cholesterol levels? Did it say that you are on the cusp of high cholesterol? Your TDL levels, your cholesterol levels are ridiculously high. And now you've actually put into realization that you're on the cusp of type 2 diabetes. Now, I'm not diagnosing anyone here because I'm not a medical care professional. And if I was, I would not be able to diagnose you because I don't know you specifically. But that is a point that I'm making. If you haven't had a heart MOT or a health MOT, book one. Take some time off. to book one and then see where you're at. When you're working with me one-to-one, you're doing a blood test, especially if you're in the UK. If you're in the US, then we find an alternative one. And the reason we do this is because we know what's going on internally, not just externally. Because so many times we think, or we try to focus on the outside, we want to look good. Those are fantastic reasons to lose weight. Amazing. However, we don't know what's going on internally. What do our metabolisms look like? What is our high cholesterol levels? What's our iron levels like? If we're always tired and fatigued, do we have low vitamin D? Do we have low B12? All sorts of things that could go on in our bodies internally that a diet just doesn't and just will not fix. Now, let me step aside from that part of the episode. If you are somebody who wants to consider me as your coach, I'm honored, girl. I'm honored. But first, before we do anything, go over to the website and book your call, your coaching consultation with me. This is for the woman who is ready to lose weight. You may feel like you want to lose weight, which is amazing that you're in that place. But the women that I work with are successful and they're ready to make change, because behavior change is no joke. Behavior change coaching isn't for the lighthearted. Now, if I wasn't quite as ready as I am now, or I was when I was trying to lose weight, I probably would be like, if you're going to ask me questions about my habits and get me to answer them, maybe I'm not quite ready. So this is not for you if you're not willing to be asked questions, not just to be asked questions' sake, because I don't just sit here and ask you random questions for the sake of asking questions. You come to me for a service, you come to me for help to actually help you just shift fat and find time to meal prep. Because if you're somebody who is busy, you haven't got time to come home, then go shopping. In fact, before you get home, you go shopping. If you haven't got anything, go shopping, pick up some food, wash the food, prepare the food, cook the food, clean up the food, prepare the food away, then eat the same boring thing every day. I can't. I'm as a macros coach, as a meal prep coach, and somebody who did a meal prep book, as an author of the book. I'll link that in the show notes so you can go and grab yours. Did all of those things. I am not going to be then teaching you how to have the same thing Monday to Sunday. That is boring. That's why I don't like meal prep, because you eat the same things every single day, and I'm not gonna teach you that. If you don't like them things every day, girl, we don't have to have them things. I'm teaching you how to make things fit into your lifestyle. This isn't diets. Diets get you to restrict yourself. Diet gets you to think you can't have this, you can't have this, you can't have that, you can't have this. Well, what's left? Just salad? No. We don't do that here. We don't. Just salad. No, you're not a rabbit. You don't get kept in a hatch or a hut or whatever you call whatever rabbits. What do rabbits get put in? Whatever rabbits get put in animals, you don't need to curd the grass. We don't do that here. Put salad as a side salad to your food and have some chicken and some tofu or whatever else on top of it. Some bacon. Have egg. Oh, I miss some egg. Have some egg. Have some. Make whatever salad you want to make, but make it pleasing, please. Don't force yourself to have a cup or half a cup of rice with some lettuce and some chicken. Listen, have some avocado on it or something. Girl, if you know about me and my food, well, that's why I was overweight for 20 years. I love my food. There's no way I'm going to make people try to make me eat broccoli and rice every day and tell me that's what you need to do for weight loss. No. Next. The day I do that, go and find yourself another coach and get a refund. Okay, there's no way I'm gonna do that. I don't like that. That's not how I coach. That's not what coaching is about. Broccoli and chicken. It's about helping you change your behaviors where you're procrastinating from losing weight and you're just overwhelmed. Have you ever been overwhelmed where you're like, you know what, I actually don't know where to start right now. I'm not gonna deal with this today. I'm gonna deal with it tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening comes, no gym. Okay, didn't happen. I'm gonna go on Monday. That overwhelming thing when there's so many plates spinning, you really take a step into action. Am I right? I know when I'm overwhelmed, there's very thing that I know I need to do that I want to do. I don't actually do. I actually do have something else, because doing that task is way too overwhelming. Let's take a step back and actually work together to be like, right, is this your goal? Yep. Okay, let's break it down even further and then see how we can achieve each and everything so you achieve your overall main goal, which is why when we coach, I start off with goals in the beginning. We need a plan. I can do your nutrition plan, absolutely, which is what I do, but you need to have a plan and direction for yourself. A man without a plan is like a ship with no rudder. It's just going round and round and round in the sea, or just aimlessly getting lost. Because we don't want to do that, because we're not going to do that, we need a succinct and specific plan, and we start off with goals. If you're somebody like, oh, Rona, I like that, book your coaching consultation with me over on the website, vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/coaching. There you can actually browse the website and see what the commitment is, investing wise, and you'll also see the place to actually open up an application. It is by application, and it is a point where we sit and have a conversation where if you are ready, if you are being open and honest with the call from that stage, with that point, and you're being open and you're answering all of the questions, not just typing things like, I want to lose weight because, then that kind of tells me you're not quite ready to do this, because you will know, you will actually, if that's you will fill out the box until there's no more characters left. That's how detailed and how ready you are to lose weight. Out of all the time that we don't have, right? We know that you don't have that much time, but when we do find time, we're thinking about food. When we're thinking about food, when we don't have time, we're in a rush, we don't always make the best choices. Both hands here. Hello. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I've got to get back on a meeting. I just need to eat. I just need to eat something. And we just make a choice that's like, oh, this looks good. All right, into my belly it goes. Sometimes that can be leftovers from your kid's plate because you cannot bear to see food wasted. So when it comes to being nutritious, I think I just kind of said this. Who has time to cook a healthy dinner when you're exhausted from a long day at work? Especially if it's chicken and broccoli. Nope. It's tempting to order, take out, or pick up food on the way home so you can save your energy for other things. I don't have any problem with that. You might have heard other coaches that say, no, you can't do that. If I tell you that, you're going to go back to the things that haven't worked for you. So instead of doing this, I'm working with you. Okay, you picked up a takeout for food. What did you have? Did you have Chinese? Oh, Chinese is my favorite experience. That's it. That's it. I'm not going to come down and tell you shouldn't have had that. What for? How does that solve your problem? You're hungry, you're on your way, you're coming to me to learn to change your habits. That's not going to happen in 24 hours. So when we have these unrealistic expectations, or even we see it, like we might have had a bad experience with a coach who thought they were doing right in your sight, but actually it didn't really work out. Here, I'm not comparing myself to that coach. Here, I'm telling you who I am, and this is how I coach you. You picked up a takeout order, that's your reality, that's your life right now. That is where you are at. I'm working with you where you're at to get to where you want to get to. Now, if you're somebody who says, I try to eat healthy, but it's hard when I'm busy, I'm so busy, I have a million things going on, there's just so much to do at work, at home, with the kids, and my husband is often like a big kid. Sometimes it seems that there just aren't enough hours in the day. Girl, I hear you. And that saying is never more true, especially when you're trying to lose weight. It seems like everything and everyone, foods that you've hidden are coming out from the surface to try to sabotage you. Social media, a TikTok has been sent to you with this latest supplement pill. This, all you got to do is drink a supplement and then it makes you lose weight. Coffee, nope, you don't need to be trying to do those things. Now, when it comes to this can cause an upheaval of stress, the most amount of untold stress that this can keep on your body, because you're getting frustrated. You know you need to lose weight. You're squeezing your muffin top, your side handles, your overhang. You can't see your toes anymore. And you're feeling like you're reminding yourself the last time that you couldn't see your toes because of your belly, you were actually pregnant. Now, it's just a food baby that's there. A food baby, and it's like, sometimes you make your belly talk. Maybe that's just me. But it's like, why? What's going on? And then you eat. The stress makes you eat. But it is no secret that stress can actually make it harder to lose the weight. And it can make you eat more than you set out to do. And you're like, you know what? Well, I've already started on this slippery slope. Let me just keep going and going and going. And that reaches and actually increases the levels of cortisol. Now, for women, unfortunately, why it chooses to go there, I have no idea, but that's the science and the science of our bodies. When we have elevated levels of stress, aka cortisol, then that goes to our belly, aka visceral fat. So that belly fat that we actually want to lose the most, we want to target the most. The high levels of stress in our bodies will actually be counterproductive to actually helping us lose fat. And then when it goes to your belly, those are signs also that you can be highly stressed. Again, this is general. This is not specific to you, because I am not your doctor. I am not your coach as of this moment in time. No agreements have been agreed or signed, but this is generic. This is what high cortisol can do. It can cause our bodies to hold on to fat and to specifically store it in the tummy area. And that is so frustrating. That's why some people are like, why is this mum pooch not going? Check your stress. What are you stressed about? How are you stressed? And me saying that to you right now might even make you more stressed, because you might be like, Verona, where am I supposed to start with my stress? You just saying that is aggravating my stress. Well, it's not quite aggravating your stress. It's highlighting the fact that you might be overly stressed, and that is causing your cortisol levels, aka stress hormones, to be elevated. But what about when you're really busy? How does stress affect your weight loss then? it still affects it. But my friends, the good news is this can be sorted. Now, if you're somebody who says to yourself, I found that time is the biggest problem when I'm trying to lose weight, join the queue and join the club. When it comes to time, time is precious, and it seems like there just isn't enough of it in one day. That's why many people are like, no, I don't have the same 24 hours as you. You don't know what I do. Well, we all do have the same 24 hours in a day. We just don't manage it the same, and we just don't have the same activities that you do. If you often find that time is getting away from you, focus on what you're spending your time on. That is an activity that we actually do in the coaching sessions. Where is your time going? How do you effectively manage your time? And that is how we get you to effectively change your habits and your behaviors. If we're constantly saying, I don't have time, yet we're spending 3 hours watching our favorite shows, we've just spent 3 hours. In one of those hours, we could have definitely gone for a walk. Even if you're going for a walk and watching Netflix, you're still getting some form of movement on. So that is still, for me, I'm not going to tell you put your Netflix down, because believe me, when I finish recording my couple of episodes for the next few weeks, I'm going to catch up on my Netflix shows that I haven't watched for a few weeks. I'm doing that. But at the same time, you're not trying to be me. I'm not trying to be you. If you are doing these things and you feel you absolutely categorically have to do that, be mobile. Take your AirPods and walk in a way that you can actually do this. Do it on the treadmill in the gym. That's one thing that I do. If I'm doing cardio and I'm focused on cardio and I'm doing a walk, the treadmill is stationary. The treadmill is in overlooking a car park. It's not very appealing. It's not very bright. It's not very nice looking. However, I start to walk and I get lost in the show. I could watch about 3 episodes of 45 minutes, and I've walked for at least 60 minutes of that time. And so you're doing two things at once. So some of you might be like, oh, I can't take a whole hour out. Take half an hour. Take 15 minutes. Go around the block, or twice if you are able to go around the block, that is. There are things that we can do, but if you're thinking and you're spending 3 hours solid and you're saying to yourself, there's no time, we need to consider what you're doing with the time that you do have and making it more effective for you. But unfortunately, this is one of the things that we don't get more of. We would love to have more time. We would love to have 26-hour days. We would love to have 48-hour days, 48-hour work weeks, and then get the whole 5-day weekend. I've been there. I've tried it. I put it in prayer. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. But no matter how hard you try to stretch it out or give yourself more hours in the day, it doesn't work. You just can't seem to get a break. And I hear you. I hear that. And sometimes you might even question to yourself, despite your best intentions and efforts to change your eating habits, your life is still very hectic right now. There are a lot of things that you want or need to cram into every minute of your day. That's why it gets frustrating for you when you're hearing me say there's only 24 hours in a day. We all have the same 24 hours. That then will leave little opportunity for you to exercise or to stick with a new diet. First off, we are not doing diets here. Diet, I guess, is another word you could use to say the way that you eat on a day-to-day basis. But as I'm come to a close and understand the battles of weight loss and busyness sometimes can be seen or even worn as a badge of honor. There are a lot of women who pride themselves in being ridiculously busy. And what that boils down to is you don't want to be left alone with your visual image of yourself or the mental image of yourself. You might be successful in every other area. You're hitting your KPIs. You've just signed an amazing client. You've just got a promotion at work. Life is gravy for you right now. However, when you're busy, people pleasing, doing everything for everyone else, that takes time off of you and your struggles. Because if your husband is saying you're always at work, I never see you. If the kids are complaining, they never see you. I've got to get this done. You know what? I just need to close this deal. You know what? It won't always be like that. And sometimes you have to make that agreement with your family. I hear that. I don't have children of my own yet. So you do have to have a time, an agreement with your partner, with your husband, whoever's in the house with you, co-join with you, making those decisions with you. That has to be agreed. And sometimes there are going to be conversations you have where it's not really going to be well received, but it actually has to categorically, explicitly be, this is what's happening. And sometimes if it's costing your family, is a promotion actually worth it? If it comes at the cost of more time with your family, more time with yourself, more time with your children, I'm saying, I'm not in your position, but for me, if that was me, yes, it may look great, but no promotion, no amount of money is worth my time, my effort, and my family. My family will be there. This promotion may come and another promotion may go. Let me support someone else in getting that promotion. If it means I'm well to do now, I can survive on the money that I've got. Yeah, it would be nice to have a little bit more change. Do I need that money? If we're asking ourselves this question, if that was me and I'm listening to a podcast like this telling me that I'm always self-serving, nothing wrong with being self-serving. The difference is when it comes and it interferes with those who matter most. If that is always getting put back on the back burner, there's an issue there, and that is what needs to be dealt with. And most times when we're people pleasing, we like to go. We don't like being stopped, because when we stop, we are forced to look at who we are. We know that we're doing all of these things, but we don't like to hear these things because we're not ready to deal with them. I was in that, remember, people pleasing. I talked about in the last episode, people pleasing avenue for most of my life. And it was hard. I had to actually get counseling to do with mine and actually be like, oh, that's what a leader does. A leader trains up, sees people who have leadership potential, creates a team, delegates things. As hard as it is to delegate and as hard as it is to give control over something because I can do it best, delegate. That takes time to learn. That's a skill that needs to be developed. But this kind of stress can cause your body to store fat instead of you burning it. And if you are grabbing everything that you see, you're grabbing food, you're skipping breakfast, you're skipping lunch, because you're just too busy, you may actually be taking in more calories than you think. And even if you feel like there's just no way for you to lose weight because of your busy schedule, there are plenty of ways for you to actually start to reverse that. But it takes time. It takes being intentional. And I talked about it yesterday. This type of woman is in fit condition for immediate action, which is the word for ready. And the synonym for ready is expectant. You're in line, in order, in place, in position to change these things. Being in position, being ready doesn't mean that it's going to come in 5 minutes, but you in this position now to make that change, which is why one-to-one coaching is the length of time that it is. 6 months, 3 months minimum. We're just getting started and we're just making leeway. 6 months. And if you want to go on for another 6 months, another year, it's entirely up to you, until we start to replace the habits that are causing things in our body to do the opposite of the things that we want to do. And they're creating discord in our families because we're so busy pursuing others. We don't have time to put focus on ourselves or others. Now, this isn't to make you feel bad or to call you out. This is to make you realize what's at stake, what it costs, and how you can change it. So you're still here. Thank you for being here. And you want some tips as to how you can make weight loss easier, plan ahead. If you know that there's going to be a day when you've got a lot going on at work or at family, plan your meals in advance. If you're somebody who's struggling with meals and how to do all of that, then go to the website vianutritioncoaching.co.uk/recipes to grab a recipe book that will give you an overview of a shopping plan. All of the stuff will be laid out for you what to get, and then you need to cook it. The second thing to do is consider getting an app, a journal, a diary, electronic, whatever it is. This can help you if you're somebody who wants to track macros. That is, this can help you track your macros. I will say these type of apps default to 1200 calories. It's not something that I advise. This is a generic thing. I don't advise that. However, if you're somebody who wants to find your custom numbers for you and your lifestyle, then you can book your macro session with me via nutritioncoaching.co.uk/custom-macros is where you can do that. Lastly, do what works for you. Some people find it helpful to exercise right after work. Others prefer early in the morning. Now, I like my sleep. I would then start to do late in the evening. It depends on where I'm at, what coaching clients I've got, where I'm at, but I've got a system that works for me. Do what works for you. If the kids have gone to bed and you've got some time to go and do it in an hour to just, get out the stress of the whole day, do that. When you come home, shower, bath, spend time with your husband, whatever it is you need to do, but work it out in a way that's best for you. Hey friend, you made it to the end of the episode. What was your biggest takeaway from today's episode? Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review over on iTunes. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about today's episode, or you need help, then you can contact me over on Instagram at VA Nutrition Coaching Podcast, or email me support@vanutritioncoaching.co.uk, or you can head over to the Facebook page VA Nutrition Coaching Podcast. It helps us reach even more women who are fed up of dieting, don't know how to lose weight, they're frustrated with following Sally's results and they're not getting any of their own, and they just finally want to shed some pounds and do it in a way that they can sustain and they can enjoy. But my friends, that's a wrap for today's episode. I can't wait to catch you on the next one. Until then, friends, stay healthy, stay blessed. And remember, if you haven't already downloaded your 5-ingredient recipe pack, you can go to the website vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/recipes and download your 5-ingredient recipe pack. Who said healthy eating was boring? See you next time, friend.